In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the entire process that I use in order to sell AI in 2025, from literally identifying a business needs, selecting a niche, developing that AI offer, how to outreach and sell the offer that we're going to be selling, how to close those deals, and how to even fulfill and deliver for those solutions. Now, to show you I know what I'm talking about, I've done $31,281.91 in 4 days. As you can see, from April 28th to May 1st. I'll hit the refresh for you so you know I'm legitimate. So this is this month, 28th to the 1st, $31,281. You can see overall getting close to 600K. We've already passed. We have a bunch of wires. We have a bunch of PayPal transactions, but on the Stripe you can see here. So I'm just going to say getting close to 600,000. Now let's jump right in. So the first and the most important thing is we need to identify the business needs, the structures, okay? What does a business need to thrive, and what does a business need to be successful? So there's 3 pillars. Number 1 is lead generation, okay? This is pretty important, and it's crucial because nothing else can really happen if we don't have that 3rd pillar, which is lead generation. So crucial for attracting potential customers and expanding the market outreach. Now, number 2 is appointments, okay? So it's very important that the business is able to convert those leads into appointments. If they're not, it's pretty much pointless. And then the same thing applies for the sales side, okay? If you're generating leads and converting those leads into appointments, but you're not closing them, useless. If you're generating leads, you have good sales skills and good reps, but you're not generating appointments, doesn't matter how good the lead generation is. And then if you're generating good leads, you're converting appointments, you're not going to close any deals if you don't have good sales. So vice versa, everything works. One thing won't work without the other in a business, unless your business thrives on referrals, which is just an exception. I'm not even going to talk about it. Now, the reason I have these core pillars in place is because this is what we're going to be building our offer around. Okay. Now, before we get into that, we need to identify a niche and a target that we're going to go after. This is very crucial because this could make or break your business journey very, very early on. And what I find a lot of people do is they jump into this AI offer and they try and sell to everybody. They try and sell to any business, anybody who comes through. And the unfortunate thing with that is you just end up being a commodity, okay? Sure, you're selling something that might be unique, but you're no different than the person or the business that is going after only that niche. And the difference between you and them is that they have 30 roofing clients that they've worked with, and you have 30 random clients that you've worked with in a bunch of different industries. Who is that client going to trust more? You, which has 30, a real estate client, who's going to trust you more? You that has 30 different businesses that you've worked with, maybe like 1 or 2 real estate businesses, or is he going to trust the business who's worked with 30 real estate businesses before and has provided results for all of them? So I think this is as big of a thing as anything. Now, what I've done here is I've split up 3 groups. I have home services professionals and then info products in here. And I've also listed a couple that I've seen to be good and a good use case for the AI. So you have roofers, HVAC, pool openers, plumbers, electricians, construction, coaches, consultant, e-commerce, SaaS, marketing agencies, lawyers, accountants, dentists, doctors, real estate agents. So if you're going to start this business model, don't go after everyone. Pick a niche. And the best way to start out in picking your niche is first look for any personal connections that you might have to a niche. So you might have a brother that's a roofer. You might have a friend of a friend of a friend that is a lawyer. You might have a mother-in-law that's a real estate agent, okay? Go after a personal connection. The reason you're going to do that is because you have an in right away. And in the beginning, your biggest blocking point for your business is going to be the closing deals, okay? The first client is going to be the hardest thing to do. Building your business is not going to be very easy, okay? Compared to closing your first deal, selecting your niche, building your offer, even fulfilling for your client is going to be 10 times easier than your first close. And if we can get that first close in earlier rather than later with somebody who is a warm lead and you have a personal connection to them, sure, we might have to charge a little bit less, but having that first close will literally skip a huge amount of trial and error and could potentially save you months and months and months of time. So for this example, I'm just going to go after HVAC. That's what I go after and then who we target. And then I'll break down the offer that we do for an HVAC guy, but this video will apply for anything. Now, we've identified the business need. We have selected a profitable niche. Now we need to develop our offer. Okay, what are we going to sell? And the way that we're going to develop this is by looking at the core principles and building off of them. So we have lead gen, we have appointment setting, and we have sales conversion. Now, for the lead gen side, what we're going to do is we are going to use targeted ads. So we're going to be using Facebook and Google ads And we are going to run using AI optimization and proven funnels to generate leads for this business owner. I'm going to break down how we're going to do it more in depth later on, okay? Now, for the appointment setting side, we're going to be using an AI, conversational AI phone caller. So there's a couple different options that we have with this. You have Synflow as one of the options. You have Vappy as one of the options. There's a bunch of different conversational AI platforms out there. You can even get started with free trials. So it'll be pretty cheap to start out and have that learning process in the learning curve. And then for the sales conversion, what we're going to do is we're going to have training. So we're going to have an AI a VA come in, implement, and just change out the scripts. We're going to optimize the scripts. We're going to see where the sales process can be increased. If that doesn't work, we're going to end up doing a closer placement. And if that doesn't work, we're going to optimize everything in terms of their CRM. So a lot of these HVAC guys, and I know this because I've done the research, and that's super important depending on the niche that you're going to go into, is they are super dependent and old school. So they're doing things on pen and paper. They're writing quotes on pen and paper. They're managing things on pen and paper, and it's just not optimal. The best case scenario, they'll have like a really outdated CRM for the schedules and stuff like that for their employees, but not for the actual business itself. So I'm going to implement that in the offer, which is a CRM placement, and we're going to be using Jobber for that. So Jobber is literally a CRM made for home service businesses because it's super simplistic, and it allows you to literally do everything on the CRM that you would have normally done on paper, like a HVAC business owner would have normally done. So you have quote and invoice like a pro, get paid 4 times faster. You can integrate Jobber with a bunch of different tools. And honestly, the learning curve for understanding Jobber and how to use it is very, very easy too. Now, that's all great and dandy, but you might be like, hey, Nick, I don't know how to run Facebook or Google ads. I don't know how to set up a Synflow agent or a Vappy agent. And I also definitely don't know how to, the first place to get started in terms of optimizing sales scripts or placing in a closer or using Jobber. Now, I completely understand that, but right now, the industry has never been easier in order to learn things and develop a skill online than it has been today. It's never been easier with, I would say, the power of AI, ChatGPT, combined with YouTube. So what you're going to do is for each of the following, for lead gen, Facebook ads and Google ads, for appointment setting with Synflow and Vappy, for sales conversion, like optimizing, how do I optimize a sales script with ChatGPT? All of this, you're going to learn it first and have a base understanding using the power of YouTube. Okay, so you're going to go on YouTube, you're going to search up the following trainings, okay, for Facebook and Google ads, how to run Facebook and Google ads, how to set up a Synflow, how to set up a Vappy, anything. You'll just do the research on that. And then also how to optimize sales conversion scripts with AI, how to place in closers in the business, where to find closers in the first place, and then how to implement a CRM system like Jobber. Now, once you've done that, don't worry. You are not going to be in charge of fulfilling for a $10,000 client, because even if you do that information, only 1% of you really will be able to properly fulfill for that client. It's not that simple if you just have a base understanding. So once you have a base understanding, what you're going to do is you're going to go on a platform called Upwork. Now, once you're on Upwork, what you can do is this is a literal hiring platform, and you could search for any kind of talent that you want. So for AI engineer to fulfill for our Synflow platform, AI engineer, you can see the lists without actually making a post. You could see the person, their name, their job success, how much they cost per hour, how much they've earned, tags on what they do, a description, and you can do this for any role. Okay, so we have AI engineer. Let's say we have a sales script writer. You could see here, I already have that searched up, right? Simple as that. And you can view all, their cost, what they've done, their job success, how much they've earned, their location, pretty much everything. Like some guys even have videos here, video introductions. So this is a very, very great platform for outsourcing contractors. And I'm going to show you how you're going to utilize these guys in order to fulfill for your clients properly. And not only doing that, but not having to do a single ounce of work once you sign one of these big juicy clients. Like yesterday, 12.2K, I didn't have to do a single minute of work for that client and the rest of their fulfillment. So they eventually will be paying a retainer. Same thing, I will not have to do a single ounce of work for that client. So that is how we're gonna fulfill. Same thing, just in case you didn't realize, I didn't mention it, but for Jobber Expert here, you could see it. You could do the same thing. You could hire somebody off Jobber. So you're going to get a base understanding of each of the following, how to do them. That way you can introduce it to the experts in the field on Upwork, who then will eventually, if you have no training, it's very, very stupid to expect them to be able to fulfill properly on the first time. That way, if you have a base understanding, you can pass on the base training, and then they're an expert, they have the base training, they could take it from there. Now, a lot of you guys might be asking, Nick, why would we learn it in the first place and instead of just passing it on to them? Like I said, if you don't have a base understanding, if you don't have a base training, what happens if something goes wrong? Okay, what happens if something goes wrong during the fulfillment process? You are essentially screwed now. You have depended on this contractor. What happens if something happens to them? Once again, you can have a backup because there's lots of people and lots of listings, so you can have a backup contractor ready to go. But I'm telling you, you're going to thank me when you have a base understanding of what's going on in your business so that you could step in and help when something's going wrong, if something is going to go wrong. And then that's just one of the reasons, but also to train that software engineer or the contractor or the job expert, whatever it may be. Now, we have understood the business needs, what a business needs to thrive and what they need to make money and be profitable. We understand that you need to go after a specific niche, target a market, become a master in that market. We've understood how to develop our A offer around that. Now, all of that is all good and dandy and how to fulfill. But how are we actually going to sign clients for this offer? Okay, how are we going to close deals? It's a very, very simple step, okay? In summary, we're going to be driving traffic to a demo video, either of a conversational AI caller or of a AI UGC talking ad. I'm going to play both of them. Then we're going to drive them to a funnel, explain everything that we do and the technical factors in a VSL, 20 minutes max. And then we're going to use our AI to call them, book them in, and get them on a sales call. Now, before they've hopped on the sales call, they should understand the pricing, how much everything costs, the technical factors, which will all be covered in the nurturing sequences, in the phone call booked by the AI, as well as the VSL. And then once they're on the sales call, we go through the sales process and then eventually close them, where we're then optimizing and scaling the ads. So number one, paid ads. Where are we going to run it? How are we going to run it? Everything is going to be run on Facebook ads. So as you can see here, this is one of our ad campaigns we just recently launched. We're spending about $100 a day on it. Yeah, so we just increased the price. You can see HVAC is the niche that we're targeting, and this is around how much we're paying for a lead. So $13, $5, $6, and $9. And what we're doing on this Facebook ad is we're literally just driving them to a funnel, and on that funnel, it's and then as you can see here, we're testing a talking head video, and I'm going to play both of these creatives. We have this primary text that we have for the once they click see more, and then we also have headlines right here. Never miss another lead call again, AI that books jobs for you automatically, your new 24/7 appointment setter. And then what happens is they fill out this lead form. So we basically ask them simple questions. They fill out their first name, email, phone number. And then at the very end, they will get sent to this page. Now it's directly going to opt them in to book a time to work with us. So they'll click on the calendar here, they'll fill in all of their questions, then they'll get redirected to the VSL. And then if they fill out this form here and they don't book a call, our AI is going to call right away immediately and get them booked in. Now I'm going to play this demo for you for the AI UGC, and I'll also show you our other demo ads that we're running.
Are you a home service business owner still wasting time chasing leads in 2025? In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you how my team and I are helping over 100 contractors, plumbers, HVAC techs, and roofers book more jobs without ever picking.
Anyways, you get the gist of that, and let me show you our other ad.
Hello, and thanks for calling Sky High Roofing. This is Eric. How can I help you today?
Hey, how's it going? I have a leak in my roof right now. Some of the tiles are damaged, and I see it's leaking through.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
So, in my personal opinion, the demo ad, it attracts less leads, so you're going to pay a little bit more for a cost per lead, but the quality is very high. The main reason is because HVAC guys, specifically for the HVAC niche, are very straightforward, old school type of guys. So they want to be straight to the point. And this ad is not only good because it has a hook, you hear that ring in the beginning, but it's literally a demo call of what a normal phone call in a situation is like for their business. And the cool thing about this demo is this is a pipe leak at 3 a.m. So a lead is calling into the AI that's picking up, and it's handling and booking a in-person technician for the 4 hours later when they open at 7 in the morning. So it's really cool because it's showing, hey, like, you don't have to miss calls if a lead calls for an emergency at 3-4 o'clock. You can get them booked in, and you can get that lead scheduled in, before, by the time it's 7 o'clock or another, competitor answers the phone, you've lost that lead and potentially thousands of dollars of business. So it's straight to the point. These AI UGC, they really attract a HVAC business owner's attention because they're women. So that's just how it is. they have a lower cost per lead, and these perform just as good. And then, like I said, sending them to that funnel, getting the AI to call in, book them in. So that is how we're going to fulfill for selling this offer. Now, a lot of people are like, hey, Nick, I do cold email outreach and I do cold DM outreach. Like, can I do that to sign my first client? 100% you can. When I wasn't selling AI and I was just selling digital marketing, I would do only cold outreach. And I signed like my first 4 or 5 clients with just cold outreach, no problem, right? The one thing I will say is it's about 10 times harder and 10 times longer to do than paid ads. Now that's because with paid ads, the leads are coming out to you, they're reaching out to you, they need help from you. When you're doing cold outreach, you're reaching out to them. So it's a little bit of a disadvantage kind of spot. Now, we understand everything in terms of setting up and developing the offer. We understand how to sell to these businesses. Now, how are we going to close deals? And how are we even going to deliver on the solutions? I know I broke it up a little bit over there, but there's 3 ways that you can go about it in terms of the structuring, okay? So everything combined, if you could do everything combined together, you will be able to close the most amount of deals. Number 1, you have to build trust, okay? Number 2, you have to prove value and return on investment. And number 3, you have to ensure that they have a streamlined decision. There is no other choice. They need you. And the best way to do that is streamlining the decision, but not actually making them think or telling them what the best decision is, letting them come up with it on their own. And you can do that by doing the combination of building trust and proving value and return on investment. So inside of, and outside of paid ads and all of that, what you're going to do is you're going to build an authority. You are going to upload YouTube videos. You are going to post content about how to sign certain deals, how to optimize CRM structure, giving everything away for free essentially to the business owner, and then selling implementation. What that's going to do is it's not only going to help that business owner to where if they actually apply one of the things you teach, they will see a return on investment, which eventually will ask themselves, hey, if this guy gave this away for free, what is he going to do if I pay him? But it's also going to build authority. You're going to build an audience. You're going to build structure. You're going to have people who are sticking around, watching all of your videos, who are keeping up with you, whether that be, it doesn't have to be a YouTube video. It could be a newsletter. It could be webinars. It could be a bunch of different ways that you could build trust and authority for businesses. It could be just signing clients and getting good results and posting testimonials. That could be another way. So there's lots of ways, but this is a huge key factor in closing, any business, and especially HVAC guys. They like to see results. So, and if they don't see results, if you're giving them value that's working for them, even better. Now, on top of that, you need to ensure that you're proving your value and return on investment. And the best way to do this is actually with a resource that we give completely for free in our free community. You can join if you want. If you don't want to, it's okay. I already know all of you in the comments. Oh, you have a course. Oh my God, you have a course. It's completely free, so you can stop complaining. But you can go on the free course. You can go to sales and closing, and then you can go to this ROI calculator. Now, what this does is we have a calculator. Like I said, you could get it completely for free. And what you can do is you can actually preview and show the business owner the return on investment that they're going to get with the AI. And I already know a lot of you are like, hey, Nick, what are you talking about? Like, I don't have any proof of concept. How do I know if the AI is going to do anything? It's very simple. So simple search result. Most businesses, you can, like I said, you can search this up. I just know they're not getting and they're not calling their leads within 5 minutes. Okay. That usually is because they don't have enough people to call, or they call during a time where their VA isn't working. There's a bunch of different reasons and methods. So what we're going to do is we're going to search up what is the percentage increase in pickup rate if you call the lead within 5 minutes of opting into an ad. So as you can see here, I don't have any client. I'm going to say for this example, I have no clients signed. If the business owner comes to me and asks, hey, how do I know that your thing is even going to work? Well, I'll show you 10 articles of how calling a lead within 5 minutes of them opting into an ad can have a 900% increase in contact rate. So everything stays the same. Your margins stay the same for your business. Let's just say that we increase your pickup rate by 900%. Okay. What will happen to your numbers? So what you're going to do, you're not going to tell them that you have this ROI chart. On this actual sales call, part of your discovery is going to be asking them questions. How many dials are you making per month? Okay, let's say we're making 1,000 dials per month. What is your pickup rate for the leads? Let's say the business has a 20% pickup rate. Okay, once again, you're getting all of this data from them. What is the booking rate? Let's say the booking rate's a little bit higher. Okay, we have a 60% booking rate. Now, show rate 70%, close rate 15%, client value 5,000. With those numbers, what would happen if we forget 900%? Okay, forget 900%. We don't increase the amount of leads. We don't touch the booking rate percent. We don't touch the show rate percent, which can all increase using the AI because we're getting it to call in and we're getting it to confirmation call, ensure that they're showing up on the meeting. Let's just do a conservative 10% increase in pickup rate. So we have the 20% there. Let's copy all these numbers over here. So we have 1,000. We have 20% pickup rate. We have 35% booking rate. Or sorry, 60% booking rate. Sorry, I'm just matching the numbers here. Okay, perfect. So we have everything matched up. Now, what would happen if we just increase the pickup rate? But like I said, not by 900%, like tons of articles are stating. Let's just bump it up by 30 or 10% to up to 30. What is that going to do to your revenue? So just like that, in 1 month, per month, your monthly revenue is going to increase by $30,000. Within 6 months, instead of making $378,000, your business is going to be doing $567,000. Instead of a yearly return of $756,000, you're going to be doing a yearly return of $1.1 million. Okay. Now this is simply with an increase in the pickup rate. Once the business is making more money, we could drive more traffic and have more leads coming through with the paid ads, which is covering the lead gen side of things. Remember? So once they can afford, whether they can't in the beginning or they can right off the bat, we can increase the number of leads coming through. Let's say we increase by another 200. What is that going to do? Oh, sorry, this is the before. 1,000. What happens if we increase it to another 200 per month? Bam, there's another 20,000 in recurring revenue that they weren't able to have before because they weren't making enough revenue to where it made sense. So this is how you're going to show that return on investment. This is how you're going to show and provide the value. You're going to use numbers against them, because if you show that to a business owner, they can't say anything. They can't say anything. And if you're charging 10, 15K up front, making an extra 20, 30K in monthly recurring revenue is going to be nothing to them. If they can pay $10,000 up front to make 30K more every single month, they will. They will. Even if they could make 5,000 more every single month, they would. Because eventually, year return, they're making 60 grand extra. So that's how you're going to prove the value and the return on investment for working with you. And then streamlining the decision, making it easy, showing, okay, this is the value. This is what you'd pay if you had a VA calling, 10 VAs calling. What is the salary if the AI can do 100 calls per minute? How many people would you have at 100 calls? You know, if you want to cover 100 calls per minute, how many people would you need working? At least 100, because one person can only call one lead at the same time. So what is the salary on 100 leads? And most phone call appointment setters are not only paid salary, but they're paid a commission on the deal. AI doesn't need to be paid a commission. So it's really that simple, showing, hey, normally if we wanted to go out and do this for you and supply a human VA and have human callers and normal optimized ads without AI, it would cost you $200,000. And back in the day, to invest $200,000 in order to eventually have that return on investment come back in 2 years would be worth it. Now you can get your return on investment after the first month. Streamlining the decision, making it very easy for them. And this, by doing that and structuring this properly, you will no longer be competing against competitors, but you'll be competing against the old way of doing it. Because they're not going to hop on this call and say, hey, like, what if I find somebody who's doing it for less? You just said, invest 10 grand, and worst case scenario, you increase 30K per month. Nobody's going to complain about competitors and the pricing of competitors on the market. It's really that simple. You just have to structure it properly. You have to make sure that you're doing what your competitors aren't doing. It's really that simple. So that's how you're going to close the deals. And then for delivering AI solutions, it's really as simple as learn to do it yourself. Okay. You have long-term control and higher margins, but eventually passing it on to a freelancer, which is cost-effective and flexible work, but time-consuming management sometimes just because of the training, or using an agency. This is not scalable, and it's less reliable because it's not good for the business if you rely on an agency. That's just how it is. I would say start off by learning and doing it yourself. Hiring on a freelancer, training them, and then for the freelancers that actually provide and do well for you, bring them on as full-time employees. So yeah, guys, that's literally everything on how you can get started today. I showed you everything that you need to know in order to get started today, no problem. You could literally start in the next 10 seconds if you wanted to. Right after you get off this call, you could start. You could break down everything. You could pick your niche and get started. But I know some of you want a little extra help, and I do have an opportunity for you. So aside from selling AI to businesses, I actually work and I partner with people. And I hate to say, anything like it's nothing like a course. It's nothing like anything like that. It's a partnership. It's a partnership with me. It's a partnership with my business partner. If something happens that's wrong in your business and you're left and you don't know what to do, with us, we are there. We have access to our entire team. You have access to our fulfillment engineers who can actually fulfill the AI for you, so you don't have to worry about hiring, training, learning how to set up the AI yourself, and bringing on a contractor. We do all of that for you. So if that's something you're interested in, it's amazing. There's going to be a link in the description below, the very top one, where you can apply to book with me. If you're not interested, no problem at all, no hard feelings. My YouTube has lots of content you can learn for free. You don't need me. You don't need me. But if you do want to see results quicker, it's almost like I like to think of it as like a time machine of trial and error. You can skip that with working with us, right? We know what has worked, what hasn't worked. We know when something is going to be working. And we're always testing the best ways to do things. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, once again, top link in the description. If not, no worries. I completely get it, and I already know people in the comments are gonna be like, "Oh, what are you talking about? You make money off selling to help people." Yes, I do. There is nothing wrong with that. If I'm providing great results, it's not a huge deal. So yeah, anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, and let me know in the comments something that you want to see for the next video. Bye bye.